Now at the TCM Shop, be sure to pick up your copy of the new TCM Shop 2020 Annual Print Catalog, featuring over 240 pages filled with deals on DVDs, TCM merchandise, redeemable monthly coupons, and messages from beloved TCM hosts. It's the inside scoop on what's hot at the TCM Shop. Discover an incredible selection of best-selling customer favorites like esteemed classics on DVD and Blu-ray. Widower Cary Grant and socialite Sophia Loren try to avoid rough waters in the comedy Houseboat. Loretta Young is set to take Washington by storm in The Farmer's Daughter. Then fall in love all over again with Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman in the beloved Casablanca. Also find limited edition TCM merchandise like the TCM travel bag. This vintage-inspired design is perfect for weekend getaways. And look good while traveling with the TCM air-tested t-shirt featuring archival TCM artwork. Plus find a wide assortment of more exciting items. Then dress to impress with the Forbidden Hollywood collection. From handbags to fedoras, it's a curated collection of apparel, accessories, and home decor inspired by the glamorous pre-code era in film history. So visit shop.tcm.com for the best in classics and check our website often for flash sales and exclusive offers. The TCM Shop. Bring home the classics.
For me to talk about Billy Wilder is a complete pleasure because he is one of the most fascinating and certainly most intelligent people that I have ever known. He's given us all a lifetime of joy and insight into human behavior with a major body of work that I think is probably unequaled by any other filmmaker.
You're Norma Desmond. Used to be in silent pictures, used to be big.
I am big. It's the pictures that got small.
I say filmmaker rather than writer-director because a filmmaker is able to keep the whole film in his mind as the writer conceived it, while directing the individual scenes so that they fit into the mosaic perfectly. And Billy Wilder has done that over and over again for decades.
You knew it was the housekeeper's day off?
Well, yes, I did.
So you went there because you knew she'd be alone?
No, I went there because I thought she might be lonely.
All right, lonely. You and the rich, lonely widow all alone in that lonely house?
No, when I left her, she was alive.
When the housekeeper came back, she was dead.
Billy's own view is that he's primarily a writer and secondarily a director. Having done 7 films with him, I can most certainly say that the level of his writing is extraordinary. And not once in the shooting of those films did I ever hear an actor ever asked to change one word in the script.
If you say that your back is killing you, they can't prove it isn't. That's what we call pain and suffering. And the money you get for that is tax-free.
What pain? What suffering?
Never can tell about a back injury. You may think you're all right, but 6 months from now, you suddenly start having dizzy spells, muscle spasms, sciatica. You can't work anymore. Then try to collect.
There's nothing wrong with my back. If you just get off it.
I learned something from Billy about really good writing, and that is that often it's not what you write, it's what you don't write.
May I help you? How many would you like?
Of course, the astounding thing is the range of Billy's writing, from Stalag 17 with uncompromising drama.
Why don't you try it one at a time?
To Some Like It Hot, the broadest kind of farce.
What's the matter now?
How do they walk in these things, huh? How do they keep their balance?
Must be the way the weight is distributed. Now, come on.
It's interesting that when Billy and I were shooting Some Like It Hot and then a year later The Apartment, the general feeling in Hollywood was that Billy was nuts and neither one of the films would work. In Some Like It Hot, he had Tony Curtis and me in drag for 85% of the picture, and the premise was really just a 5-minute burlesque sketch stretched to 2 hours. But Billy sensed it would work, and he was right. It became a classic.
Now you've done it. Now you have done it.
Done what?
You tore off one of my chests.
In The Apartment, Billy was throwing darts at the behavior of American businessmen. His leading man was loaning out his apartment for assignations in order to get ahead in business.
That's good thinking, Baxter.
And his leading lady was sleeping with her married boss. Who were you supposed to root for?
What do you call it when somebody keeps getting smashed up in automobile accidents?
Bad insurance risk?
It's me with men.
Of course, Billy wrote a wonderful love story at the center of all this unpleasantness, much like growing a rose in a garbage pail. And in the process, he won 3 of his 7 Academy Awards. But at the time we made the film, I doubted that it could have been financed and made even a few years earlier. In other words, Billy has not only kept up with the changing morality of the times throughout his career, he has often anticipated and caused those changes.
Oops. You know, that dress dummy don't do you justice, even with all the padding.
Well, I suppose I've put on a few pounds.
Well, don't you worry about it. As far as I'm concerned, there couldn't be enough of you. Baby.
I've been close to Billy for over 35 years, and I have never spent 30 seconds with him that were dull. He's brought an enormous amount of joy and happiness to all those fortunate enough to work with him. He's the one person who has had the most profound influence on my professional life, and as my dear friend, a very deep influence on my personal life also.
I love you, Miss Kubelik. Did you hear what I said, Miss Kubelik? I absolutely adore you.
Shut up and deal.
Billy once said a wonderful thing to me. He said, "Remember, you are as good as the best thing you've ever done." If that's true, then Billy Wilder is as good as some of the best films that this world has ever seen. To be with and to work with Billy Wilder is sheer bliss. He is the most extraordinary man I have ever known. I'm Jack Lemmon for Turner Classic Movies.
Jack Lemmon gets in touch with his feminine side and realizes nobody's perfect, and some like it hot. Wednesday at 8 p.m., only on Turner Classic Movies.
Here she is, ladies and gentlemen, a star.
Hello, gorgeous.
Don't settle for a little dream. Go on to the big one.
The stuff that dreams are made of.
I'll have you. Marriage or no marriage.
I'm in love with you. So much so that I want to marry you.
Universal International presents Rock Hudson as Mitch Wayne, who owed everything to the oil-rich Hadleys. Lauren Bacall, who had married Kyle Hadley too soon. Robert Stack as headstrong Kyle Hadley. Dorothy Malone as Kyle's sister. In a tense, frank drama woven of the raw realism of life itself.
I didn't take her to the motel. She took me. Your daughter's a tramp, mister. If that ain't plain enough for you, I can put it...
As long as he could remember, Mitch, the outsider, the friend, had lent his strength to the Hadleys. To Kyle, too rich, too charming, tortured by a secret that made him lash out at all he loved. To Mary Lee, tormented by longings too strong to control.
I can think of much better things than making smart talk.
To Lucy, whom Mitch loved in silence because she was Kyle's wife.
I respect my marriage.
Haven't I?
Can she have children? There's nothing wrong with Lucy. You've never cared about me.
Or your wife.
And why are you putting your 2 cents in?
Only because of Mitch. Because I've never had him. And your wife has. Take me away, Mitch. Take me out of this house. Kyle, I went to see Dr. Cochran this morning. We're going to have a baby.
You shouldn't have done that to me.
You, Mitch, and your little...
I've had nothing to do with Mitch.
You dirty...
out before I kill you!
I'm so often asked what my favorite movie is, and I want to answer by connecting an actor to a movie. I love Greer Garson in Random Harvest, and Eleanor Parker in Caged and Detective Story, Robert Redford in All the President's Men, Henry Fonda in The Oxbow Incident, Dorothy Dandridge in Porgy and Bess, Bob Newhart in Hell is for Heroes, Kirk Douglas in Paths of Glory. That list can go. Oh, I love Barbara Stanwyck in Babyface and The Lady Eve in Double Indemnity. What TCM offers now, I think what we've always offered, is the sense that there is something you can count on, and you can count on the past. You can count on our history, our shared love of nostalgia. You know, in movies, characters are always saying to another character, "You're living in the past." Well, I got news for you. For a couple hours every night, TCM lets you live in the past. And I got some more news for you. It's pretty nice. I'm Ben Mankiewicz, and I'm honored to be TCM's primetime host.
Set sail on a cinematic adventure that's one of a kind.
TCM, are you ready?
The 2020 TCM Classic Cruise, October 4th through the 10th. Cast off aboard the luxurious Disney Fantasy for 6 unforgettable nights filled with classic movies.
Bravo, bravo.
Special guests.
The sensational Kim Novak.
And endless festivities. Join the TCM hosts and film fans just like you as we plot a course from Port Canaveral to Cozumel, Grand Cayman, and Castaway Cay, Disney's private island paradise. Staterooms are available now. To get the latest details and information, go to tcmcruise.com or call 1-877-223-7030.